describe, there's so much attention on the deep ball, and I know that so much goes into it with offensive linemen, receivers, but when you're coaching JT or Dwayne, how do you improve a quarterback's ability to throw the deep ball, if that makes sense? What are you trying to do to enhance that with your room?
Well, it's not something that just happens overnight. It takes time, and it's something, obviously, one of our major emphasis this off season and then this preseason and during the first half of the year was to stretch the field horizontally and then stretch the field vertical. And so it's been something we've been working on for a long time. We meet on it. It's when things don't go well, everyone wants to know from JT why it didn't go well, and from coach, and like everybody said, it's everybody. It's everybody involved in it, and it has been everybody. So when it does go well, everybody gets the credit. So we still got a long way to go, but we're making progress.
Are there particular drills or things that you reads that you? What's the key just for your position?
It's getting everybody on the same page, especially the receivers and the quarterbacks. We do meeting together so that we're all on the same page. We're talking about the same timing, the same spacing, against certain coverages, where the ball is expected. And so I think, especially for the wide receivers, and Coach Smith does this as well, he teaches it through the eyes of the quarterback. So when a receiver understands where he needs to be and when he needs to be there, that makes a big difference.
There's one thing we saw, I think, in the spring, I don't know if you still do it, is throwing over the nets and working on touch.
Sure.
Is that specific to a deep ball, or what's the purpose behind it?
The nets that we use are usually for those intermediate throws where we're trying to throw the ball right over the top of the underneath coverage. There's linebackers and things like that, and so we just work on trying to get the ball over the top of the net and drive the ball into those windows, and that's what that's for. The deep balls are usually more about timing and usually more about spacing and where in the field you expect the ball.
What do you expect? What's a successful percentage of hitting on the deep ball, and where have you guys been at in 5 years?
Yeah, our goal was to hit 50% of our deep balls.
Okay.
More realistic is probably closer to 40%. If we're hitting on 50%, that's a heck of a day, but that's our goal.
Coach Myers,
where you are right now?
You know what? I don't have to go back and look at it. Yeah.
Coach Myers said that those crossing patterns that we've seen, especially Johnny, that's something that you brought from San Francisco and the places you've been. Is that something you felt maybe this offense maybe didn't have in the past, and it's something that you thought could really take this offense to the next level?
I mean, everybody had their hand in it, but one of the things we see is we see some man coverage, we see a lot of match coverage, and so some of those crossing routes really fit well. We have some really talented receivers with speed, and so those guys getting those guys on runners and helping us spread the field horizontally with getting guys going sideways and getting the ball out on time was critical, and so our timing has been good on that. And the guys have really run with it too. They've done a great job of that.
How much of, when you have those kind of routes, how long does it take for a guy like JT, who might not have had those concepts in the past, to kind of learn and anticipate those and get them to where you want them to be?
Yeah, it takes time. I mean, we've been doing it from the beginning of spring ball. And so I think the timing and the spacing has been good, and the guys have done a nice job. I mean, our wide receivers are like pros. You can change something up or change a split or change a motion or who's doing what. That may not be much to us, but it's a different presentation of the defense. And they're able to put it on the field from the meeting, and Coach Smith does a great job of that with those guys. So that's a huge weapon for us to be able to change up the looks against the defense.
JT's made some really good throws on that play in particular. Can you tell that he's very comfortable with that now?
Yeah, I do. I think he's got a good feel for it. I think, especially in this past game, he was able to slide and find some throwing lanes. He's able to move in the pocket. And I think he understands the timing of it, so that if he can slide and find a passing lane and then shoot the ball where he needs to based on the coverage, he's been making some progress with that. So hopefully we can just keep building from that.
And in particular, Urban did give you credit, and I know it's a group effort. We all know that it's a group effort on the offense. But he gave you credit for those plays, those kind of ideas. What's it like when you're coming here and you're maybe coming here with an idea? Here are some things that I've run in the past. It's been really effective. I'll throw it out to everybody. Like how did you get those plays in the playbook?
Well, we've had great conversation with Coach Meyer, the offensive staff, Coach Wilson, and I, and we all have different ideas and different plays that we have. And rarely do you invent a play. Usually, you just somebody runs it and then you fit it to your offense. And this seemed like a nice fit, and it has been. So sometimes you think something's going to be a good fit, and maybe it doesn't work out as well. Early in the season especially. you think maybe something's going to be a good fit, and maybe it doesn't fit just right. This was a good fit, and so hopefully, again, like we said, we can just keep it rolling.
Ryan, how comfortable would you be if Dwayne had to play in a game where it was competitive, not just a backup role, but if he had to actually play the whole game?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that is really important in our program here that Coach Meyer drives home, and we all 100% buy into, is called Power of the Unit. So our whole unit in our room, in the quarterback room, is once one of the quarterbacks go onto the field, that we're accountable for that guy who steps onto the field. So we wouldn't put a guy in the field that we didn't feel good about, we didn't feel accountable for. So we're all behind him. We're all working together in that room. I think that room's getting stronger, and right now we're building that depth. But he's making progress. He's seeing his reads. He's learning to strain a little bit better, and so I really see him building every week.
He was obviously originally committed to Maryland. How glad are you that he is on your side?
Real glad. Yeah, he's a great kid, and he's learning, and he's willing to learn, and so we're really glad we have him.
How different is he now than when you first got him?
I think he's really growing every day. I think he's come a long way. Still has a ways to go, but he's growing up every day, and so we're proud of him for that. But again, he's got a high ceiling.
How would you assess the backup situation with him and Joe?
Guys are working. They've been great. They're not in there trying to figure out where they're at. They're just working. They're putting their head down, and both got a chance to play last weekend. And so when they get a chance to play, they got to play well. And so I think they both understand that.
Along those lines, Maryland's on their third quarterback. Twice in the past week, Urban has talked about, anticipating a day where JT's not your quarterback. How much in workouts are you able to get your backups physical reps, not those mental reps that are so valuable?
We do a great job. Like, we just finished practice with a drill where the young guys are out there working, and we're running our offense. And so we do a good job of getting those guys reps during the week, and Coach makes special time after practice to make sure the young guys are getting reps. And so all those guys, Dwayne, Joe, and Tate are getting reps during the season, so that because they all want to play, but then when they step in the game, they have to be ready to go, and that's what's hard. Sometimes they don't get as many reps as a starter, but they're still responsible to be ready to roll.
Is JT savvy enough that you can get your backups more snaps than you otherwise would because JT can get so much out of a mental rep and he's got so much experience, or does that not even make a difference when you're assigning?
No, I don't think so. I mean, regardless of how much experience you have, when you're putting in a game plan for the week, you're pretty much going to take the reps with the ones, so you can get the timing down and things like that. Because sometimes you put a tweak in here or there that he needs, but then later in the week, maybe he won't do as much throwing, and the other guys will jump in for him.
How do
Coach
you keep
Alfred
your?
said that Mike Weber and JK is a good problem to have. Have you had this problem before?
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
I've never had two running backs like that. I've been around. I mean, these are really talented guys. They're very unselfish, and we're playing fast right now, so we're running a lot of plays, and so those guys are getting plenty of reps, and they're getting touches, and so I think they're both happy and they're both pulling for each other, and we're lucky to have both of those guys because we're going to need them as we roll on.
Is it exciting to then start implementing ways to use them together as Coach Meyer wants?
Yeah, it's going to be exciting moving forward.
How do you keep Tate Martell engaged when he's fourth on the depth chart and was a big-time recruit coming in?
I'm so proud of the way that he's been the last month. He has just gone to work every day, worked on getting better. It doesn't matter whether he wants to go on a scout team. He is a competitive kid that I'm really proud of his approach. All he's focused on is getting better right now and trying to help out the team. And he was highly recruited. And with that, comes a lot of different things. But I cannot say enough about the way he's worked in the last month. He's going to have a really good career here. And if he keeps working, he's going to keep getting better. And the sky's the limit for him as well.
Coach, thank you very much.
Welcome. Yep.